Anyways, we are back. Yes. And I'll be back in 1 sec. There you go. For some reason, my blind started to move. Yes, I am back. I do have a bit of um, um, some updates on some Vita stuff. So, um, yeah. So I do have some updates on some Vita stuff. Um, there. Um, so yeah, so 3 out of the 4 games I've ordered have arrived. Because unfortunately one of the games I wanted I couldn't get digitally. And if I wanted to go physical through eBay, I'd be paying crazy money. Like we're talking like $100 sort of thing for a game that I don't think. Well, it's not really a game. It's more of a rhythm game, I guess. And I just didn't think it was worth what a lot of the eBay sellers were saying. It wasn't like crazy. It was like around 80 for used, and I'm like, oof, that's pricey. Um, so yeah, if I do look at my email during recording, it's because I am looking at shipping and stuff like that because I have a few things that are still shipping. Um, which I do in theory. There is another Vita that could um, be delivered today. It's looking more and more likely that it will be here tomorrow. Um, yeah, unfortunately, it'll be here tomorrow, which is kind of unfortunate. But as you can see, there is one Vita right there, which was. Let me grab that and I'll sort of explain everything. So, by the end of this, I'll have 3 Vitas, all the same color, same variant, same everything. Um, so the one that this was the third Vita that I ordered. This was from my retro store back down in Toronto. Bought this off of their eBay site or eBay store about a couple weeks ago, actually. So I bought it on the 17th. So what's that? One, two, almost 3 weeks ago. Um, yeah. So it arrived almost 2 weeks ago, actually. So this arrived on the 22nd of July after buying it on the 17th. And this one came with a charger, box, everything, and it was like $500, just over $500. So that was the third one I ordered. Not because I wanted to have 3. I did end up ordering 3 from 3 different places. So that one came fairly quickly. Then this one showed up. This was the second one I ordered back in July. So this was ordered on the 10th of July, and it showed up on the 29th, I think. I think it was the 29th. Let me just pull up the listing here. Yeah, it was delivered on the 31st of July, so on the Friday. And this one is now my main unit. And there's a few reasons why. This one, if you can see here, has a warranty sticker on it, which is fine. I could remove it, but there is still technically warranty on it because even though there is no manufacturer warranty, there is still store warranty. And then the other reason why I switched to this guy is not because of cosmetic issues or anything like that. Let me actually do this here. Let me, hold on a second here. Power off. Power off. I said power off, god dang it. Is because of this tiny guy. Yeah, this is the proprietary SD card SD card that they used for the Vita. And just in comparison, I don't have. Let me actually grab a standard SD card, micro SD card that is. There we go. Grabbed one. This is a little bit larger in terms of capacity. This is 64 gigs. But yeah, like this is that one. And if I carefully grab the other so I'm not touching the pins. Yeah, they're almost about the same size. But these ones are stupidly cheap. These ones, you can get a 64 gig for like 50 bucks. 50, 60 bucks. These, on the other hand, you're looking at 75, 80 if you're lucky. So it was kind of annoying that back between 2011 to 2019 when these were produced, that they used these guys, their proprietary memory or storage, I guess, SD, whatever you want to call them, rather than your traditional micro SD like this one. This is a Samsung 64 gig card. So kind of annoying because these things are stupidly expensive. So I did switch over to use this guy because it came with it. I specifically ordered this so then I could get the memory card for it. So the one that is coming tomorrow has another memory card with it. Like I bought the Vita with the memory card, and the listing says view order details. It says here. Let me just do this here and put this in the stand. So it says in the description, it says here PS Vita PCH 2000, so that's the version. So the 2000 is the slim, and a battery charger compatible, so it might not be an OEM charger, which doesn't matter because I have two sitting behind me that um, are um, manufacturer and um, a compatible memory card. And this one, because I bought this as a class B or rank B, basically, meaning basically just a condition, and it goes through everything. So I bought a B rank from him just because of um, of price. Um, and so B rank is considered good, good rank, I guess, or whatever. It says here visible scratches and noticeable yellowing, good condition, clearly visible scratches or signs of use, along with noticeable yellowing. So what I'm probably going to do is I am going to take the quote unquote memory card from that unit and dump it into this guy because this is still um only has a gig of um onboard storage. Is this actually dead? Nope, wasn't holding down power long enough. And set this up as a backup to that unit because this right now is set to my main um backup account, like the one that I typically use if I know I'm not going to go for a full completion or something like that. I'll use, or if I'm just testing other games, I will use that account. But if we go to system here, system info. Yeah, so this has just over 1,000 megs. So if we go to Google here and do the conversion, um, and then do, yeah, so it's just over a gig of of storage. And to prove it, if it wants to focus, come on, focus. Yeah, 1,039 megs and free is 1,006. So just over a gig. So this is, like I said, going to be running a backup of that unit. Um, so yeah, so I'm just trying to get this into safe mode so then I can factory reset it. So yeah. So yeah, like I said, I do have a few games um that I've ordered. Well, I have 3 out of the 4, like I said, and there are some that I just don't have or that I just couldn't get cheap enough physically, so I ended up going down the digital route. And those are I'm going to pull up the sort of what they're classified as. So I pulled up the list here. I know what some of them are. In terms of like what the genre is. And then there are others which I don't know. There. So yeah, so let's start off here. So I do actually have a couple visual novels. I have two visual novels at the moment for Vita. One of them is physical, actually. I have to grab a Switch game actually because it ties into that. There we go. So the first, so when I bought the Vita initially, give me one sec here. Sorry about that. My dogs are barking. So like I was saying, so when I bought the first Vita, or got one of them in, which was this guy, considering these are Japanese units, we never got this exact colorway here. So this is the white and lime green. It looks more yellow on camera, but trust me, it is lime green. We never got that color here. We got piano black, the white from the Assassin's Creed 3 Liberations bundle, and the aqua blue. Those were all the colors that we got here in North America. So these three, which obviously I don't have the third one yet, but it's identical to these two. Here's the other one, same, right? And then there's the front. I didn't want to rush out and immediately start buying Vita games because Vita games are very, very pricey, or can be pricey, either digitally and or physically. I do have my list of some of the digital games that I've bought recently, including with the one physical. I didn't want to spend any money until I tested with Stardew Valley, which, yes, the Vita is compatible with Stardew, because of how pricey these games are. Because, again, unlike the DS Lite, which I have, which, let me grab that, unlike the DS Lite, where the games are more or less affordable, that was a copy of a Japanese copy of Pokemon White that just jumped out of the unit. Yeah, as you can see, Pokemon White. Yeah, so this is a Japanese copy. I knew that I was willing to risk a couple bucks. Well, actually more than that. It ended up being around 100 and something. For the unit was $92 with shipping. And then I did buy a few games for just a test with, because I'm like, again, just like what Console Variations was telling me and Google, the DS Lites are region free. And I can confirm they are. So with the Japanese Vita, I didn't want to risk going down that route of buying games and then finding out, oh, it can only play Japanese games. And same with the Advanced SP, it is also region free. This is actually the exact color that I had back in the early 2000s. It is not my original unit. Mine was actually in way better condition than what this is. I might end up modding this at some point to convert it to USB-C for charging, but for right now, I do have the proprietary charger for both of these units. But I haven't really used it since I bought it. I basically bought it for one game, and that is, let me grab it actually. And that is for this. This is a Japanese copy of Pokemon Yellow, which you would think, oh, it would work on the DS Lite. Well, hold up the DS Lite here and get them. It doesn't fit. It doesn't slot in. You would think it does. It doesn't. It only works with Game Boy Advance games. So that's why I bought this guy. Because I know this guy works with Game Boy Color games because I played a crap ton of Pokemon Crystal back in the day on it. But if we slide this in, it fits. So, and this is a legit copy. So yeah, so unlike those consoles where I knew that they were region free, and the games are more or less decently priced for some of them. Some of them are very expensive. Like a lot of the Pokemon stuff is stupid, um, stupid expensive. I didn't want to risk that with the Vita. So when this Vita came in, which was the first one to arrive, which was funny considering this was the third one that I bought, I immediately downloaded Stardew Valley on it and then tested it. It worked, and then I was like, okay, it is region free. I wasn't disputing what Google Console Variations and the good folks over at r/PS Vita on the subreddit told me that it was region free. I'm like, okay, they're saying that. They could just be joking. So once I tested with Stardew, I was like, okay, I've confirmed it, and it does work. So I did buy, like I said, 3 games right off the rip. And the first 3 games I bought, and why I have a Switch game beside me, is this. So this is Nurse Love Addiction. Yes. I don't have Syndrome yet for the Vita. I am potentially looking at doing that this year, but I do have it because I have this. This is Nurse Love Obsession, which includes Nurse Love Addiction, which this is just the Vita version, and this is actually from Limited Run. This was actually a brand new sealed copy, and I paid like $70 for it. So, which is actually a pretty good deal for a Vita game. Actually, that's brand new. Whereas this was a used copy, I believe. I think it was either used or new. I can't remember. I bought this off of Amazon a year ago, which includes both Addiction and Syndrome. So, but this was a distributed copy through Limited Run for the Switch, whereas this one is actually a numbered copy. As you can see on the back, it says 123 on it. So, yeah, so super happy to get this into the collection. The other one that I bought, which is very weird, Minecraft. This is a Japanese copy because for some bizarro reason, only Japan and Europe got a physical cartridge of Minecraft. For North America, we got basically a code in a box. But this, considering this is from Japan, there is a physical cartridge. It's just actually in the unit right now. And to prove that I actually do have it physically, let me just... There we go. Get the Vita game slot open. Yeah, there's the cartridge for Minecraft. These things are so small and so thin. So yeah, so I have that, and then I have probably what is considered one of the most obscure, or maybe even the most obscure, Call of Duty game, and apparently it didn't do very well. So, yeah, like I'm just pulling up Metacritic here. I uh, um, so let's pull up, yeah. So Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. Um, got a 33 out of 100. So, and that's based on 58 critic reviews. Mixed or average was about a 5. Um, so I was like, you know what? For the for the price of it, I was willing to give it a shot. Like I didn't pay crazy for it. I did, well, that's a bit of a lie. I did pay more than what I think it is worth personally. Um this was about 50 bucks. Actually over 50 bucks, which is a little pricey. That's actually what it was when it was launched back in 2012, I believe. Um, I think it was 2012. Yeah, 2012. Um, which, yeah, so, yeah, so, yeah, so it takes place between Black Ops and Black Ops 2. So, and I was like, you know what? I'll try it. Um, the achievements, or achievements, the trophies for it, luckily, are only single player. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Um, so those are all the ones that I currently have. I do have another physical coming, and I will talk about that now. So I do have another rhythm game coming, which is weird because I don't really play a lot of rhythm games. Um, I don't really play a lot of rhythm games. I don't mind them. I just don't play them. But this one I was trying to find digitally, but unfortunately I just couldn't get it digitally for the Vita, which is Hatsumika Project Diva F second. So basically basically the sequel to Project Diva F. I couldn't get it digitally. It's not even on the store anymore. So I can get Project Diva F and X digitally, but I couldn't get F second. So I thought, okay, let me check eBay. And eBay was like 80 bucks for it. And I'm like, and that's for used. I thought, okay, let me look, and that's for a North American version. That's an ESRB version. Let me look at PAL, which is Europe. They're like 120, 170 bucks. I'm like, forget it. So I did find a store out of Winnipeg actually that had it. So I ordered it last night, and that's why I'm keeping an eye on my email because it should be shipping today, or at least leaving the warehouse today. So that's why I'm keeping sort of an eye on my email. So I picked it up, like I said, last night, late last night. I think it was like 8 o'clock or something. Um, Yeah, well, 7:30, so 15 hours ago it's been ordered. Um, so yeah, so I have the full breakdown of why it cost so much. So the game itself was about $50, and then I had about $7 in shipping, which is actually pretty reasonable because when I was looking at it on eBay, shipping was like 20 to $30. Um, so this was $7 expedited. It leaves the warehouse in a business day with tracking and insurance, which is kind of nice. I don't really care about the insurance side of things, but it is kind of nice to have. The tracking is the main one that I wanted. And then the tax was about $8. So, yeah, so like I said, so I picked it up from PNP Games online, which they are out of Winnipeg. So, like I said, it should be coming probably by the end of the week. Hopefully. My only problem is, or my only fear is that it won't be in a physical case like this. It might just be cartridge only, which it doesn't list on here, cartridge only, so I'm guessing it's complete, but typically it would say complete, but I just don't know. So that's another reason why I'm keeping an eye on my email. So I do have that on the way. So um so like I said, I do have a couple other visual novels. I did pick up Love, which is a visual novel. Um I am looking at getting Love Alternate as well. So those two I do want to get physically, but right now um um I do have give me a sec here. Sorry about that. Just had to take a bit of a quick call. Um yeah, so I do want to pick up, like I said, Love Alternate as well. Both the original and the alternate version. I do have, if we go back to this Vita, not that Vita, but the one I have in my hand right now, and we go to Rhythm Games. Nope, not Rhythm. Visual Novel. Um, I do have, as you can see, let me just pull this up here. And actually start it. Um, yeah, so this one is actually kind of expensive, both digitally and physically. Um, I'm just waiting for it to fully load up here. Um, I've not, truth be told, I've not actually played it. But I've heard some good things about it, so I thought, you know what? Um, yeah, as you can see, here's the loading screen for it. So yeah, so that's the loading screen for it. And the other game I did pick up, so Muv-Luv, which so Muv-Luv was $45.19. So a little pricey, but digital or physically you're looking at like $80-90. So a little bit pricey. The other one that I do want to talk about is a, technically it's from the same developers as a game I have sitting behind me for PS4. Let me grab that. I love having all my games sitting behind me. I can just go to my shelf and pull them. Is this game, Concrete Genie. So the studio who made this game and the game that I have on the Vita, they unfortunately no longer exist. I was a little worried about when I bought it on Vita. I was like, oh god, with them no longer existing, can I still buy it? Yes. Um, but it's a little bit weird because according to True Trophies, it says that's been removed from the PlayStation Store. I thought, oh great, did I just waste $15.24 and I can't even play it? You can still buy it, but you have to have it on. You have to buy it from the Vita. You can't do it from console. I believe I haven't tested it, but yeah. So it's from the same developers as Concrete Genie. But I do want to talk about Concrete Genie for a second here. This game, I haven't fully platinumed it. I do, but it took me a while to find. It did take me quite a while to find. This was one game that I was trying to actually track down. But like I was saying, so from the same developers, we have Entwined. Yeah, Entwined. So, like I said, I haven't fully played it. And then we also have another game which I've not played, but heard very, very good things about, is Gravity Rush, which is a single-player action and adventure game. Which, like I said, I've heard some very, very good things about Gravity Rush. So again, it is very, very pricey for it. So I thought, you know what, let me grab it digitally. And it wasn't too bad. It was the same price as Entwined at $15.24. But the big one is Persona 3 Dancing and Persona 5 Dancing plus the Megaverse costume pack bundle. That was very, very pricey. That was about 80. That was $83.04. So that one was pricey. So those are everything that I have bought up to this point for the Vita. Like I said, I probably will reset this. Um, for to use my main account. Um, because I want to have a backup just in case if something happens to that unit. I do want to have a backup unit just in case. Oh my god, I can't reset this thing. So that's what I'm trying to do right now is get this thing to be reset. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So I'm going to try to work on that today because I can't reset it from here, I don't think. And unfortunately, I can't just sign out of one account and sign back into an alternate account. So So I've deactivated this, so that means I should be able to now factory reset this thing, hopefully. So yeah. So, and you might be wondering, are there any other Vita games that you do want to get? Yeah, there are. Um, there are, but right now, like I said, I'm trying to budget for the rest of the year. Um, because I did also pick up Diva F demo, so the original version before I picked up F2 or F second or whatever the heck you really want to call it. I did pick up F demo. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I should be getting an email today with tracking for uh, the other game. But for some reason, I can't log into the account. Um, uh, so yeah, let me see if I can log into the account here. No, I can't. Okay. So reset password. So what I'm doing right now is I'm resetting my password because I don't actually know what it was. You save. Oops. Oh my god. Why? I'm just going to do one quick thing. Um, um, I can't, with how I have my keyboard, um, um, it's very hard for me um, to, um, um, to, read, or not read, but, type passwords and stuff like that sometimes. Um, so, yeah. So, like I said, super, super happy. I'm just going to do a quick update here, and then we will. Okay, so everything is working. Okay, so there we go. So yeah, like I said, there are a lot more Vita games I do want to get. But they are. They are unfortunately quite um, pricey. Um, yeah, so they are can't or they can be quite pricey, and you might be wondering like, um, okay, so power button. This is annoying. I hate having to reset the or factory reset the Vita because um, oh my god, why? Um, so yeah, um, so yeah, so unfortunately, it just doesn't want to work. Um, so I'm going to update the computer, and yeah, so like I said, there are a few other um, Vita games that I am looking at, but for right now, I'm happy with the minor collection that I have. I will show you um, um, when I get it. I might do an unboxing of Project Diva F second when it comes in. But again, I have no idea when it'll come in. It could be Wednesday, which I don't think it's possible because it leaves the warehouse within a day, which is probably later today or tomorrow. It'll probably be here maybe end of the week, but it's most likely next week, unfortunately. So, yeah. So, adios.